June 15th, 2017, remote desert outside Reno, Nevada. The sun hadn't cleared the horizon, but 38 crew members were already in position. Cameras ready, lights calibrated for the precious golden hour that would last maybe 90 minutes. Day 23 of a 45-day shoot on a Western Clint Eastwood was directing. Everyone knew how Clint ran a set. Show up on time, know your lines, do your job. No drama, no excuses, no wasted motion. His reputation for efficiency was matched only by his reputation for quiet authority. People who worked with Clint told stories about how he commanded absolute respect without ever raising his voice. That morning, call time was 6 a.m. sharp. The location required a 45-minute drive from base camp. The scene was critical, a tense confrontation requiring precise coordination, complex camera movement, and that perfect early morning light photographers call magic hour. At 5:45 a.m., the crew was ready. At 6 a.m., 2 of 3 actors were in position. The cameras were loaded. Sound had done their checks. Grips had positioned reflectors. Everything was ready to roll. Everything except one person. The actor we'll call Justin Torres was nowhere to be seen. And what happened when he finally showed up 2 hours later would end his career in 3 words. Justin Torres was 32, riding high on recent success, supporting role in a Marvel film, 400,000 Instagram followers, and the casual entitlement that comes from being told you're special without anyone checking if you deserve it. His agent pushed hard to get him this role. Clint Eastwood doesn't work with just anyone. You get this credit, you're legitimate. Torres signed the contract but told friends he was doing Clint a favor. At 32, with 500,000 followers and a Marvel credit, Torres believed he was the star. The warnings came early. Torres showed up 20 minutes late to the first table read, "No apology." When Torres checked his phone during Clint's scene explanation, Clint paused mid-sentence, looked at him, and waited. Torres pocketed the phone, but the attitude remained. The assistant director pulled Clint aside after week 1. "Torres is developing a pattern. Late to makeup, distracted on set." "How's his work?" Clint asked. "When he focuses, he's good, but he acts like being here is optional." Clint considered this. Everyone gets one chance to figure things out. Torres didn't figure it out. The day before, detailed call sheets went to everyone. Torres's call time highlighted 6 a.m. location, marked clearly with directions, no ambiguity. At 5:15 a.m., the first crew van left base camp. By 5:45, everyone was on location. Camera department arrived earlier, wanting extra setup time for the complex tracking shot. Makeup had transformed the other actors, adding dirt and sweat for harsh desert light. Clint arrived at 5:50, reviewed setup with his cinematographer, took his place in the director's chair. He sipped coffee from a battered thermos, mentally rehearsing the shot sequence. Around him, 38 professionals moved with practiced efficiency. The desert location was spectacular. Rolling sagebrush hills, distant mountains, that particular light quality existing only in the first hour after sunrise. Exactly the look Clint wanted, scouted for weeks. But that light wouldn't last. By 7:30, the sun would be too high, shadows too harsh. They had maybe 90 minutes, scheduled months in advance. At 6 a.m., the AD called settle. The crew went silent. 2 actors took their marks. Clint checked the monitor, checked the light, turned to ask if Torres was ready. Torres's chair was empty. At 6:05, the AD called Torres. Voicemail. Again. Voicemail. Text. "We're ready. Where are you?" No response. At 6:15, called Torres's assistant. No answer. The sun was climbing. At 6:30, crew members checked watches more frequently. The 2 actors standing ready shifted weight, trying to stay loose. One caught Clint's eye, shrugged apologetically. Clint remained in his chair, face expressionless. Anyone who'd worked with him recognized the stillness. He wasn't angry yet. He was watching, calculating, giving Torres rope. At 6:45, the cinematographer quietly informed Clint they were losing the optimal window. In 30 minutes, they'd need to completely reposition. Clint nodded, said nothing. At 7 a.m., Torres's phone showed activity. Text to AD, "On my way. Traffic." Traffic. At 7 a.m., on desert roads where 38 people had arrived on time an hour earlier. The AD showed Clint the message. Clint looked at it, looked at the rising sun. Let me know when he gets here. At 7:30, the light meter readings changed significantly. They were losing it. At 7:45, another text. Almost there. At 8:02 a.m., 2 hours and 2 minutes after call time, Justin Torres's black Range Rover pulled in. At 8:02 a.m., 2 hours and 2 minutes after his call time, Justin Torres's black Range Rover pulled into the location, kicking up dust that caught the harsh sunlight they'd specifically scheduled around. He climbed out wearing gray sweatpants, a wrinkled hoodie with the sleeves pushed up, and leather flip-flops that slapped against the dirt with each step. His hair stuck up in several directions, the unmistakable geometry of bedhead. He carried a large Starbucks cup in one hand, a venti something with extra foam visible through the clear lid, and his phone in the other hand, thumb scrolling as he walked. No rush in his movement, no quick stride of someone who knows they're late, no apology in his posture or his face. He moved like someone arriving at a casual weekend barbecue, not someone who'd kept 38 professionals waiting for 2 hours on a time-sensitive shoot where every minute cost the production hundreds of dollars. The crew watched him approach in silence. The script supervisor actually stopped mid-note to stare, pen hovering over her clipboard. The two actors who'd been standing ready since 6 a.m., who'd maintained character energy for over 2 hours, exchanged glances that mixed disbelief with barely contained anger. One of the camera operators shook his head slowly. A grip muttered something under his breath. Behind Torres, the expensive camera equipment sat idle. The reflectors carefully positioned to catch the golden hour light were now catching harsh mid-morning sun. The dolly track laid for the complex moving shot sat unused, a testament to wasted preparation time. Torres walked past the assistant director without making eye contact, still scrolling his phone. He was reading something. Maybe texts, maybe Instagram, maybe emails. Whatever it was apparently more important than acknowledging the 38 people he'd kept waiting. Sorry, man, traffic was brutal, Torres said without looking up from his screen. His tone carried no actual apology, just the reflexive words people say when they know they're supposed to apologize but don't actually feel sorry. The AD, a 20-year veteran who'd worked on over 40 films, who'd seen every kind of unprofessional behavior the industry could produce, kept his voice carefully neutral. We've been ready since 6. Yeah, I know. Couldn't be helped. Torres took a long sip of his coffee, still scrolling, still not making eye contact. Finally, he looked up, not at the AD, but at the set, scanning it with mild interest as if seeing it for the first time. Are we actually going to lose the light? Because I can come back tomorrow if that's easier. My afternoon's pretty clear. The casual suggestion that maybe they should just reschedule, that 38 people could come back out here tomorrow, that hundreds of pounds of equipment could be repositioned, that the scene everyone had prepared for could just wait. It hung in the air like gasoline fumes waiting for a spark. They get paid to wait, right? Torres added, gesturing vaguely at the crew with his coffee cup. I mean, that's their job. The AD looked past Torres to where Clint Eastwood sat in his director's chair, 30 feet away, watching everything unfold with that famous expressionless face that could mean anything or nothing. Clint was already standing up. Clint walked toward Torres with economical movement. Not fast, not slow, purposeful. The set went silent. Torres looked up when Clint stopped directly in front of him. Torres smiled. He thought this would be fine. Hey, Clint. Sorry about the delay. You know how it is. What time was your call? Clint's voice was quiet, that signature rasp. 6, I know, but the traffic coming out of Reno. What time did you arrive? Torres checked his phone. Like 10 after 8? But dude, I left at 5:30. Clint looked at the AD. What time did the first crew van leave? 5:15, sir. Clint looked back at Torres. So 38 people left before you and arrived on time. But you hit traffic. Torres shrugged, not registering danger. I should have left earlier, but I'm here now. Let's shoot. Do you know how many people have been standing ready since 6? I mean, yeah, that's their job, right? Their crew. They get paid to wait. Torres said it casually, like pointing out obvious fact. Something changed in Clint's posture. Subtle, but anyone who knew him recognized it. His patience had run out. Their job is to wait for you? Torres finally sensed something wrong. I mean, no, not exactly, but come on. I'm here now. We can still shoot, right? You're 2 hours late wearing sweatpants and flip-flops, holding coffee, checking your phone. Look, I said I was sorry. What else do you want? Entitled annoyance crept into Torres's voice. I had a late night. I'm juggling 3 projects right now. So is everyone here, Clint said. The difference is they showed up on time. Torres laughed nervously. This is intense for showing up late one time. It's not like I killed someone. This isn't one time. You were 20 minutes late to the table read. Late to makeup 3 times. You check your phone during takes. Now you're 2 hours late, disrespecting 38 people who did their jobs. Disrespecting? Torres's voice rose. I'm not disrespecting anyone. I'm a professional. Do you know how many followers I have? What I could be doing instead of standing in the desert at 6 a.m.? The crew held their breath. No one talked to Clint like that. Clint let the words hang. Then he said 3 words that would define Torres's career. Get out, now. Torres blinked. What? Get out, now. Clint repeated it exactly the same. Quiet, final, absolute authority. You can't be serious. You're fired. Get off my set. Fired? For being late? Torres looked around for support. Found none. 38 people stared back with zero sympathy. You're fired for not caring that 38 people waited for you. For showing up in sweatpants to a professional shoot. For thinking Instagram followers mean you don't have to respect people's time. Torres opened his mouth, but Clint had already turned to his AD. Get him off set. Call the second choice actor. See if he can be here tomorrow. Clint walked back to his chair, picked up the call sheet, as if Torres no longer existed. Torres stood there 10 seconds, waiting for Clint to change his mind or someone to intervene. Neither happened. This is insane. You can't just fire people. I have a contract. The AD stepped forward. Your contract has a professionalism clause. You violated it. Please leave. This is bullshit. I'm the best thing in this movie. No one reacted. Clint didn't look up. Torres walked back to his Range Rover, anger in his stride. He climbed in, slammed the door, sat there, probably waiting to see if anyone would come after him. No one did. His Range Rover started, kicked up dust, disappeared. The moment his car vanished, tension released. A few crew members smiled. Someone muttered, "About time." The script supervisor started clapping. Others joined briefly. Clint stood up. We've lost the morning light. Move to scene 14. The crew erupted into activity. Within 20 minutes, they were shooting a different scene, as if Torres had never been there. By the time Torres drove through Reno, the story was spreading. 3 crew members had texted friends. By noon, it was on industry boards. By evening, Deadline Hollywood. Torres's publicist tried creative differences and scheduling conflicts, but too many witnessed what happened. Within 48 hours, the truth was everywhere. Actor fired from Clint Eastwood film for showing up 2 hours late in sweatpants, disrespecting crew. Torres posted on Instagram, sometimes you walk away from negative energy onto bigger things. Comments filled with people calling him out. Industry professionals shared their Clint stories. Consequences came fast. Torres had been in talks for 3 projects. Within a week, all 3 went to other actors. His agent stopped calling back. Casting directors lost interest. The replacement actor arrived next morning at 5:30, 30 minutes early, knew his lines, asked intelligent questions, delivered what the LA Times later called understated and powerful. The film wrapped on schedule, under budget. Torres's career didn't end overnight but changed fundamentally. Rising star to cautionary tale. Directors didn't want the risk. His Instagram followers became a reminder of how little they mattered when you couldn't show up on time. 3 years later, someone asked Clint about the incident. His answer was brief. Film sets run on mutual respect. Doesn't matter if you're the star or holding the boom mic. Show up on time, do your job, respect everyone's time. When someone decides they're too important for that, they're just wrong. But crew members there that morning tell more detail. Standing ready at 6 while the light they'd driven 45 minutes to capture slowly changed. Watching Torres walk on 2 hours late in flip-flops, coffee in hand, phone in the other, acting like keeping 38 people waiting was nothing. And how Clint handled it. No yelling, no drama. Just 3 words delivered with quiet finality. Get out, now. The incident became Hollywood lore, shared in film schools and on sets as a reminder what professionalism means. Not about talent or Instagram followers or what projects you're juggling. About respecting people you work with enough to show up when you said you would. To this day, showing up late to a Clint Eastwood set is career suicide. Suggesting crew members are paid to wait is a mistake you make once. Because on a Clint Eastwood set, everyone's time matters. Everyone's contribution counts. And if you can't understand that, there's a 3-word exit waiting. Get out, now.